Electric mountain bikes can be a great way to get more downhill mileage in less time, which can be a blessing in a lot of our busy schedules. But it's really hard to decide which one is right for you. So I've put together my list here to help you get started in the process as you're looking for an electric enduro mountain bike or an enduro electric mountain bike, whichever way you want to say it. I'm going to go through 11 enduro EMTB or electric mountain bike options. Alright, so let's dive into some of these bikes.
First off, we have the Transition Relay. It comes in two colorways. It is known as the Mountain Biker's EMTB. It's a lightweight, long-travel modular mountain bike that could provide both an electric and non-electric experience in one chassis, meaning you can remove the battery and ride it without. It is for riders looking for a more intuitive and natural feel on the trail than many would expect from an EMTB. The Transition Relay is spec'd out with Marzocchi Z1 Bomber fork, SRAM Code R brakes, Fox Float X shock, Vizua Ride 60 motor, 430 watt-hour battery, and SRAM NX Eagle group set. The Relay has a 78.4 degree seat tube angle, 64 degree head tube angle, 460mm reach, 442mm chainstay, and 160/160 suspension travel. The PNW version of the Relay features a Fox Float 38, TRP DHR Evo brakes, Fox DHX coil shock, Vizua Ride 60 motor with a 430 watt-hour battery, and SRAM GX Eagle group set. And for geometry, it has a 77.7 degree seat tube angle, 63.3 degree head tube angle, 452mm of reach, 440mm chainstay length, and 160/160 suspension travel. Next up, we have the Santa Cruz Heckler. The full power Heckler e-bike is the definitive all-day capable trail-focused gravity-inclined bike. Its torquey motor and huge 720 watt-hour battery allows riders to access previously unreachable trails, unlock less used trails, and cram more into less time. It is a lightweight EMTB for riders looking for a fun, lively ride without sacrificing battery life. For components, it's sporting a RockShox Zeb base fork, SRAM DB8 brakes, RockShox Super Deluxe shock, Shimano EP801 motor with a 720 watt-hour battery, and SRAM transmission on most models. It has a steep 77.5 degree seat tube angle, slack 63.5 degree head tube angle, 455mm of reach, 445mm chainstay, and 160 front, 150 rear suspension travel. Now, there are some things to consider before purchasing an electric mountain bike. Obviously, cost is a consideration. With added components, electric mountain bikes are not cheap. You also want to consider and compare the battery size, what types of distances you'll be routinely riding. If you want a lighter bike that doesn't necessarily feel like an electric mountain bike, you'll want to consider smaller batteries and lighter bikes overall. But if you want to consistently push the mileage, you may want to lean towards a larger battery capacity. It's all about what you want to prioritize. Next, we have the Devinci E-Spartan. Referred to as an E-Beast, Devinci's E-Spartan salutes those who are about to rock with the kind of slack, aggressive roll you'd expect from the spawn of Spartan, and with the extra oomph of an E-equipped engine. It has a Fox 38 Performance E fork, Shimano XT M8 brakes, Fox D HX2 PE coil, and Shimano EP800 motor with a 725 watt-hour battery, as well as a Dior M6 100 group set. The E-Spartan has an aggressive geometry with a steep 77 degree seat tube angle, slack 64 degree head tube angle, 460mm of reach, 455mm chainstay, and 180 front, 170 rear suspension travel. Next, we have the specialized Turbo Levo Comp alloy. The Levo delivers power to ride more trails through an unequaled combination of ride quality, power, and ride anywhere range. It's the distillation, application, and amplification of a 40-year obsession with creating the world's best riding mountain bikes. It's equipped with a Fox Rhythm 36 fork, SRAM Code R brakes, Fox Float shock, specialized 2.2 custom motor with a 700 watt-hour battery, and SRAM NX Eagle group set. The Levo sports a steep 77.2 degree seat tube angle, slack 64.5 head tube angle, 452mm reach, 442mm chainstay length, and 160/160 suspension travel. Next, we have the Polygon Collosus N8E. Rather than simply bolting an E-system into an existing acoustic suspension platform, Polygon went back to the drawing board to engineer a 160mm 29-inch EMTB to deliver the mountain biking experience dreams are made of. Trail bike agility with enduro-esque composure where climbs transform into fun and, of course, your descents triple. The Colossus has a Fox 38 performance fork, Shimano XT-M8 120 brakes, Fox Float X2 shock, Shimano EP800 motor, a 630 watt-hour battery, and Shimano XT Dior group set. It has a steep 77-degree seat tube angle, slack 64-degree head tube angle, 470mm reach, 435mm chainstay length, and 160/160 suspension travel. Okay, let's define some measurements and why I feel they're important. First off, all measurements here are taken from the manufacturer, which means they're usually from the medium-sized models. When I'm looking at these bikes and trying to determine fits, I look first at the reach number. This really is all about estimating what it would feel like to sit in or on the bike. I feel like a reach of around 505 to 510 millimeters is perfect for me, but this will all depend on your height, riding style, and ultimately your preference. For electric mountain bikes, I also specifically like to look at the seat post angle. Steeper angles are getting more common and can provide a more comfortable and upright pedaling position. Lastly, with enduro bikes, I like a bit longer chainstay and more slack head tube angle, around 445 to 450 millimeter chainstays and 64-degree head tube angles. These both contribute to the overall length or wheelbase of the bike, which helps provide tracking and stability on high-speed, chunky, or steep sections of trail. Next, we have the superior EXF 9039B. The EXF 9039B is your all-mountain companion, crafted for limitless adventure. It is an enduro-style EMTB with strong components at an impressive price. It features a RockShox Lyric Select fork, Shimano Dior brakes, RockShox Super Deluxe shock, Bosch Performance LCX motor with a 750 watt-hour battery, and Shimano SLX Dior group set. It has an aggressive geometry featuring a 77-degree seat tube angle, 64-degree head tube angle, 465mm reach, 446mm chainstay length, and 160/160 suspension travel. Next, we have the Trek Rail 8 GX Axis T-Type. Rail 8 is Trek's top-of-the-line alloy electric mountain bike with long travel suspension. It features a suspension setup and parts worthy of the gnarliest enduro runs, and the powerful Bosch drive system will get you back up the mountain faster than you ever thought possible. It's set up with a RockShox Domain RC fork, SRAM DB8 brakes, RockShox Deluxe Select RT shock, Bosch Performance LCX motor with a 625 watt-hour battery, and SRAM GX Eagle group set. It has a 68-degree seat tube angle, 64.5-degree head tube angle, 445mm of reach, 448mm chainstay length, and 170/170 suspension travel. Next, we have the Canyon Spectral On CF8. Canyon invites you to throw a leg over this carbon ultralight brawler of an EMTB and get ready to get rowdy. Motor up climbs thanks to Canyon's engineered batteries, and turn tail to torch it back down the trail. It features a Fox 36 rhythm fork, Shimano SLX M7 120 brakes, Fox Float X performance shock, Shimano EP801 motor with a 720 watt-hour battery, and Shimano SLX M7 100 group set. It has a 76.5-degree seat tube angle, 65.5-degree head tube angle, 460mm of reach, 440mm chainstay length, and 160/160 suspension travel. Next, we have the Ari Timp Peak. The Timp Peak doesn't exactly behave like your typical enduro e-bike. It's livelier and it allows for a more active riding style while still delivering plenty of power and battery capacity, as well as competence on steep and gnarly terrain. It sports a DVO Onyx 38 fork, DRP DHR Evo brakes, DVO Topaz shock, Shimano EP801 motor with a 635 watt-hour battery, and Shimano XT Link Glide group set. It has an aggressive geometry featuring a steep 77.5-degree seat tube angle, slack 63.5-degree head tube angle, 455mm reach, 437mm chainstay, and 170/170 suspension travel. Lastly, we have the Norco Range VLT A1. The Range VLT is made for riders who are into tackling rowdy terrain and then taking it up another notch into absolute beast mode. Whether riding up or down, all-day battery means you don't need to pick just one trail, you can take them all. It features a RockShox Zeb Select fork, SRAM DB8 brakes, RockShox Vivid Base shock, a Bosch Performance LCX motor with a 750 watt-hour battery, and SRAM NX Eagle group set. It has a 77-degree seat tube angle, super slack 63-degree head tube angle, 467mm reach, 436mm chainstay, and 180/170 suspension travel. Alright, time for the bonus bike, and it is the Score 6080 ZLT GX version. What I thought was interesting about this bad boy is we've got 180mm front suspension. I did also see a 220 brake rotor on the front, but mainly it's just a very aggressive looking bike, and I'm going to leave a link to it at the bottom, and you can check out more details about it, but I'm not going to go too much into it right now. If you made it this far, guys, thank you so much for watching this entire video, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the trails. Cheers.